What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we are going to talk about this NBA playoff round two, game two matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Now, this game will be played at 8 p.m. East Coast time. The line did open up over under 220, New York -5. Line has since moved over under 219, and New York -4.5. All right, so in the last meeting, Indiana Pacers did lose 117 to 121. The Villanova 3 hit plenty of big shots on Monday, and Indiana didn't benefit from some last minute officiating calls. So, in other words, game one of the Eastern Conference semifinals went exactly the way the Knicks wanted it to go. They went out, they played hard-nosed defense in the end, but they also ran with the Pacers for a lot of the game. All right. The Knicks earned a 121 to 117 win on Monday as Dante DiVincenzo put New York ahead for good by draining a tie-breaking three-pointer with 40.1 seconds left and just 12 seconds after Pacers guard Aaron Naismith was erroneously whistled for a kickball violation. Now, DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart, all of whom are part of that big Villanova 3 national championship winning team in 2016, combined for 92 points for the Knicks. Brunson finished with 43 points, which is a game high, and he became the fourth player in NBA history, along with Michael Jordan, Bernard King, and Jerry West, to score at least 40 points in 4 straight playoff games. Hart says he's the engine, man. We're going to go as far as he goes. All right, now DiVincenzo, Brunson, and Hart were especially effective in the fourth quarter when they combined for 34 of the Knicks' 39 points. The Knicks trailed 94 to 85 with 10 minutes and 28 seconds left before the trio scored the next 24 points for the host over a span of 7 minutes. Brunson said, "Go out there and just figure out how to win. We knew we had to play better tonight. They had our number for most of the night. We just made a couple plays down the stretch." Now, the Pacers do acknowledge that they were displeased with the officiating down the stretch, and they lamented the inability to close out the Knicks. New York shot 65% from the field, you guys. That's 26 of 40, all right, from the field in the second half, including 63.6% from three, which was 7 of 11. The Knicks shot just 42.9% from the field in the first half, all right, in the first 24 minutes, going 18 for 42, all right, and 4-12 beyond the arc. So that first half was definitely not the half that the Knicks want to come out with again, all right. Now, in the inverse, okay, when you're talking about these two teams, and you got to really talk about the injury report, guys. All right, so when you're looking at this injury report, of course, Tyrese Halliburton is questionable with the back. He's still dealing with lower back spasms, and it's unclear if he will be active for game two, even though I really do expect him to be out there, guys. But you can also kind of tell that something's hampering him because his shot has been off for most of his playoff. Like, he's been non-existent in a lot of these games sometimes. I mean, outside of the assist, of course, and he will give you like a double-double, all right, but at the end of the day, it's not the Tyrese Halliburton from the beginning of the season. And then New York Knicks, they suffered a major injury. Okay, Mitchell Robinson will be out due to the ankle. He's likely to miss the remainder of the playoffs, recovering from a stress injury to his left ankle. And he is pivotal, guys. Pivotal. I mean, like, that guy, what he does for the New York Knicks down in the post, on defense and getting rebounds and this and that and the third, he will be sorely missed. All right. They also will be without Bojan Bogdanovic. All right. He's also going to miss the remainder of the 23-24 season after having surgery to repair injuries to his left foot and left wrist. Jericho Sims is questionable with the shoulder. He'll be battling that inflammation and uncertain if he'll take the floor in game two, guys. All right. So how these two teams have matched up in the last 10 times they've seen each other. The Knicks run this series 6-4 straight up. It's been 5-5 against the spread, and it's 6 to the over, 4 to the under in the last 10. Now, this season, including the playoffs, they have now officially played each other 4 times this year, and out the 4 times, it's 2-2. Indiana has won in New York and at home. Of course, you know they won back on February 10th when Jalen Brunson was out there by himself. There was no OG Anunoby, there was no Mitchell Robinson, and there was no Julius Randle at that point in time. All right, so please take that into consideration when you're looking at this game and look at the history of how these two teams have fared against each other. What's important to notice is that so far this season, the Pacers have covered 3 of the 4 games. So in other words, the Pacers are 3-1 this season against the spread against the New York Knicks. All right, and so far this season, it's gone 2 to the under and 2 to the over. Now, something else to pay attention to is how these two teams have basically played in the playoffs. So, in the last, what is that, 7 games, in the last 7 games, the Pacers are 4-3. Okay, and that was playing against the Bucks, guys. All right, now I know that the Bucks were very, very much banged up and very much injured, but the way the Pacers looked in that New York Knicks game, it looked to me, and that could be just me, as if they actually learned a lot in that Bucks series. Okay, because of the fact of how they had to dig down and actually play some defense. All right, now another thing you want to pay attention to is against the spread. Against the spread in the last 7 games, they are 4-3 as well. So when they win, they do cover, or they come closer to covering, even though they did cover the last game in a loss to the New York Knicks. Okay, they're also 8-2 to the over in the last 10 games, and that's important. I give you the 10-game span because it shows you the trend of how this team has been playing. They've been playing way more over than they have been playing under, guys. All right, and then when you look at the New York Knicks, they're in their last 10, they're 8-2. We all know how they did against Philly, okay, and that they really have only 2 losses in the last 7 games. So they're 5-2 straight up in the last 7. Now against the spread is a whole different ball game. They're 4-6 in the last 10, and in the last 7 they're 3-4 against the spread. So they're not covering unless they are getting points, guys. Yeah, and the only time they covered in this postseason when they were giving up points was when they played Philly way back on April 20th. All right, and they were giving up 4.5. They did not they did cover that, but that was the only time they've covered when they're giving up points, guys. Just so you know. All right. And as far as how they've been playing over unders, it's 8 to the over and 2 to the under. And in the playoffs, they've only had experienced 2 unders. So they are also trending towards the over, guys. Something to pay attention to. All right, because when you look at how these two teams have fared against each other this season, the minimum amount of points that has been scored for each team is 105 for the Pacers and 109 for the Knicks. And that was way back on February 1st, you guys. And if you look at the team totals for this game, the team totals once again set pretty low. Pacers 106.5, Knicks 110.5. I give you this information for a reason, you guys. Now, when you get over here and you look at situationally, of course, at home on the season, the Knicks were 30-15, whereas on the road, the Pacers are 21-23. But in this current situation as a favorite, at home, straight up, Knicks are 27-7. And the Pacers in this current situation as an away underdog, they're 12-15 straight up. Now, when you look against the spread, though, things changed a little bit, but not much. So as a home favorite, the Knicks are 18-16 against the spread, whereas as an away underdog, the Pacers are 15-11-1. All right, against the spread. So the Pacers are a slightly better team as an away underdog, percentage-wise, than the Knicks are as a home favorite. And then when you look at these playoffs, the Pacers are 4-3 against the spread, whereas the Knicks are 3-4 against the spread. Very important to understand the trends and how these two teams have been playing in the playoffs. And then when you look over under at home, Knicks games tend to go under. It's 18 to the over and 27 to the under as a home team. And Pacers as an away team is 19 to the over, 23 to the under, and 2 pushes. But when you look at as favorites and as underdogs, as a home favorite, it's 15 to the over and 19 to the under for the Knicks. And then when you look as an away underdog, it's 15 to the over and 11 to the under with 1 push for the Indiana Pacers. But like I said, when you look at the playoffs And we're just talking about how it's been in the playoffs. It's been 5 to the over and 2 to the under for both of these teams, guys. All right. Now, situationally, in the last three games that these teams have played, Pacers are averaging 109.7 points per game while giving up 111.3 points per game. And the Knicks, they're averaging 115 points per game and giving up 114.7 points per game, guys. So when you're talking about these teams, right, you always got to understand that the Pacers have won each of their last 10 games following a loss because they played great coming off a loss. The Pacers have lost 8 of their last 9 Eastern Conference semifinals games against Central Division opponents following a win. Following a win. The Pacers have covered the spread in each of their last 10 games following a loss, and the Knicks have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 4 games following a win. And then when you're talking about the Knicks, and how they have an opportunity, the Pacers have lost each of their last 6 playoff games against Atlantic Division opponents. The home team has won each of the Knicks' last 6 Eastern Conference semifinals games. The home team has covered the spread in 5 of the last 6 playoff games between the Pacers and the Knicks. And the Pacers have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 playoff games against Atlantic Division opponents. Each of the Pacers' last 8 Wednesday games as underdogs have gone over the total points line, and 9 of the Knicks' last 10 night games have gone over the total points line. So, what do I like? What's my leans? How am I feeling? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm leaning towards taking the Pacers with the points. I'm leaning towards taking the Pacers with the points. I'm definitely getting there with the team total over. Pacers team total over 106.5, and the Knicks team total over 110.5. The reason why is because, once again, I do anticipate the Knicks will be forced to kind of run a little bit more in this game. They will try to slow it down. The method that the Knicks use to slow the game down really is by drawing fouls and getting the other team in foul trouble, and then they can run that half-court offense a little bit more efficiently. Josh Hart has to come out and do the same thing that Josh Hart has been doing, or this team could run into some serious problems, just because of the fact of the way he produces out there on the rebounds and how he goes out and gets his double-doubles, man, is like no other. Heck, he's not even listed to get a double-double right now. You can't even get Josh Hart. Oh, yep, yes you can. You can get it minus 425 if you wanted to throw that on something, guys. You can get Tyrese Halliburton for a double-double at plus 130 if you think that he has the opportunity to do that tonight as well, seeing as how this is a duel between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. Now, Tyrese Halliburton had a horrible game shooting the last game, so you gotta make that judgment on your own. But I'm definitely getting there with those 2 team total overs. I could probably see the actual game going over too, so I might get that too. Hit the trifecta, 3 different 1 picks. Probably leaning towards getting the Pacers plus the 5. Or I might buy a point or 2 and put him at plus 7, 7.5, just so I cover myself and feel a little bit safer with it. Once again, I always tell you guys, I have no problem with paying for the juice, because it's worth the squeeze, man. For me to win and get money back is the goal. All right, like, it should be looked at when you're gambling. You should be looking at it the same way you look at a stock. Your return on your investment, you're looking for a percentage, and that percentage is what's going to carry you on to being able to stack your wins and stack your money, so that you'll be able to put more into the market or put more in on your bets, you guys, and change your unit size. All right, now I hope this information helps you. I know you saw my history and the wins in the corner. Y'all, I've been doing my thing, you guys. I pray you have a blessed day. Stay safe. I'm going to see you at the window. Peace.